Secrets of Moor Studios, Gaumont British Animation, Part 26. What Happened to the Lindbergh Baby After His Kidnapping, starring Donnie Dunagan. Fair use statement. We're going to have to come back to the Amelia Earhart hand in the next video, and Alfred Hitchcock is antsy and he really wants to see what happens next. But now it's time for What Happened to the Lindbergh Baby After His Kidnapping. Apparently this is acceptable way of spelling kidnapping. The New York Times would have spelled it with two P's because they like to deceive you in style. Alright, so wanted posters went out showing that on March 1st, 1932, Charles A. Lindbergh Jr., son of the world-famous aviator Charles Lindbergh, was kidnapped from his home. A massive manhunt was underway for Charles Lindbergh Jr. He came to the home of Elsa and Baron Wolf Frankenstein, son of Henry Frankenstein, and attempted to explain his plight. Elsa Frankenstein was unsympathetic to Charles Lindbergh Jr. plight, thinking the child was an overactor and a two-bit hack. Dr. Wolf Frankenstein and Igor bring his father's monster back to life. The monster kidnaps the Lindbergh baby while Lionel Atwill attempts to shoot the child. The monster looks down and begins to think, "Who is this adorable little kid? He looks familiar." He looks more closely. Even closer until he realizes who the child is. "It's the Lindbergh kid," he shouted. The monster informs Dr. Frankenstein of his find. Dr. Frankenstein and the monster returned Charles Jr. for a large reward. The monster bought a fine new smoking jacket, and the doctor bought a crappy hat, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Alright, I would have had this video out a lot earlier, but I laughed for 2 days straight when I discovered that the kid being held up by Frankenstein, Peter von Frankenstein, was Charles Lindbergh Jr. So that was the delay on this one. Alright, so who's the kid who plays both Peter von Frankenstein and Charles Lindbergh Jr.? Oh, meet Donnie Dunagan. There he is. So Donnie Dunagan was a child actor, and he did a number of things. Obviously here he plays Peter von Frankenstein. He played Charles Lindbergh Jr. in the Charles Lindbergh Jr. kidnapping hoax. I believe that's number 22 in my videos. He was the voice of Bambi. Here, apparently they have him in some military outfit. This is Donnie Dunagan, and he was supposed to be in the military. I doubt he did anything in the military. I could be wrong, but judging by his father being a fake aviator and him being kidnapped, I don't believe anything they're showing me. And here they have some really heavy prosthetics on his face. Can't really say for sure. By the way, you can look him up and read up on him. I'm not going to go through everything about him. Born August 16th, 1934, and died, nope, not yet. Guy's still alive. Donnie Dunagan, still alive, ergo Charles Lindbergh Jr., alive and well. And the man, Donnie Dunagan, played Charles Lindbergh Jr. He's alive, he's out there. Most of the photographs from the little story were from Son of Frankenstein, not The Last Couple and not the Lindbergh pictures, all the actors from the film Son of Frankenstein I found in the Moor Studio photographs where the film was shot. Lionel Atwill played Inspector Crow. He's the one shooting at the monster. He was not shooting at the child. That's just funnier. This photograph here is Boris Karloff over here. That's Basil Rathbone. And this is actually Bela Lugosi, which is kind of funny because you're used to seeing him as Dracula, but here he plays Igor. At Moor Studios, he is Ralph Wright. Boris Karloff is Alex Oxley, and Basil Rathbone is Peter Dards. Here's a picture of Peter Dards at Moor Studio. You can see the resemblance. This was somewhere in my first 4 videos. This wasn't from this movie, but this is Bride of Frankenstein. I wanted to throw it in here because this is Elsa. Let me get the name right here. Elsa Lancaster, played by Joe Lancaster. Elsa Lanchester, played by Joe Lancaster. And at Moor Studios, just a great, great scene here. I won't belabor it, but she also turns out to be Peter Dards' daughter. Therefore, she is Basil Rathbone's daughter. Ralph Wright, who we showed in previous videos, is Bela Lugosi. Alex Oxley, here again drawing cartoons, is Boris Karloff. I have other photos there. This is Josephine Hutchinson. She played Elsa. We saw her in a previous picture, and I have every reason to believe that this is her. This is from Moor Studios. We showed that this was Lugosi. This was Helen Chandler. I believe I know who he is. I don't have a clue yet of him, but I will have them both one day. And part 24, here's our picture from Moor Studios. We identified Charles Lindbergh Jr. over here, Charles Lindbergh Sr. over here. That was Amelia Earhart. So I have tied them in with Moor Studios where the film's being made. And here again, Charles Lindbergh Jr. is Donnie Dunnigan. Voice of Bambi, Charles Lindbergh Sr. We fill him in over here, a.k.a. Donnie Dunnigan. And we have everybody here, and we slowly fill in other little pieces. And if you would please, everybody, just make sure the reward money is sent to my email address. I would be forever grateful. We have found Charles A. Lindbergh in the arms of Frankenstein. And thanks, everybody, for watching. Take care.